welcome back to another episode of Will It Bread. Today, we are going to see if we can pass off another culture by attempting to make bagels out of grape juice. Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. So, I've already pre-measured our ingredients. First thing that I have to do is I have to get our water, our grape juice, warm in order to mix the yeast with it. Which means that I'm probably gonna have to nuke this. So, already starting off strong. What do you think, 30 seconds? A minute? Maybe? I'm a little bit worried. That's a lot of grape juice too. The recipe that I'm using calls for a cup and a half for these bagels, which is like more liquid than I've added to a lot of our dough so far, but hopefully it'll turn out pretty good. I'm excited. I want to know what grape juice bagels taste like. Minutes was not enough, but that grape juice is very sweet, so I'm expecting either very happy yeast or very sweet bagels, which, I mean, it's a breakfast food. It is morning for me. I think it's like 7:30 in the morning right now. Sun's about to come up. So yeah, we'll bagels. We just get to wait. So it's warm enough. It's not hot because I don't want to kill the yeast, but it's pretty warm. I'm going to put it into our stand mixer because this recipe specifically calls for a stand mixer, so I'm using it. And then it says I need to add 2 3/4 teaspoons of yeast, excuse me. But each one of these packets is only 2 1/4, so I get to toss out a bunch of yeast when I'm done. Meh. Such is the cost of life. That looks like 2 1/4. We're gonna go with that. Yeah, trash. We're then gonna attach our hook. Hope it's attached because it's been quite a while since I've had to use this thing. And we're gonna mix everything together and then let it sit for 6 to 7 minutes and let the yeast get all happy. And I'll get right back to y'all when that's finished. So now that our yeast mixture is very fluffy and downright looks like vomit, it's time to add our flour, which is 4 cups. We've got our sugar, which is 1 tablespoon, and we have 2 teaspoons, of salt. And we're going to make this vomit hopefully look less vomity. We'll see. Probably not though. Like, it really looks like vomit. Like, I would show you a photo, but YouTube would probably make me take it down. Ooh. I'm pretty sure that when I was sick, I made that once. So we're going to take our hook, we're going to attach it, and we're going to beat this together for 6 or 7 minutes. That's what the recipe says, until we get a slightly tacky dough. And that's what's going to happen. I have to do this in real time. You all get to just sit back and watch it. I have to do this in real time. And it's coming together. This is so much easier than the bowl. I'm probably going to end up using this from now on. But this is so much easier than the bowl. I mean, I can hand knead my flour if I really want to, but like, this way my hands are free. I can, have a Mountain Dew break if I want to. Not sponsored. Mountain Dew sponsor me, please. I make just enough to live. Please, Mountain Dew, sponsor me. So, the purplish color of the original juice has now turned into like a gray color. These are going to be some really gray-looking bagels. Actually, that looks really shaggy. Hang on a second. That looks really shaggy. I might have to add water to this. That looks like a very dry dough. The recipe says it'll do this, so maybe it'll get better the more it gets kneaded, but it's a really shaggy dough right now. So yeah, how have y'all been? I can't actually hear you, but I hope you've been good. It's the new year. This is the first bread recipe out of the year. It's going. And you know what? My New Year's resolution, we're gonna stop doing stupid stuff on this channel, you know? I mean, I'm not gonna be snorting flour anymore. I promise. I'm not gonna snort flour anymore on this channel. Like, the doctor says that I shouldn't. Cut the camera. I'll be back to you.
Let me look your nose. Put
No,
us there.
I promised I wouldn't.
Put us there, Chris.
No,
Let me look at your nose.
I promised. No. So anyway, I don't know what came over me. The dough is still going. It's I've had to add water a couple times, but now it's getting kind of tacky. We're just gonna hope it doesn't break my machine because this machine is really trying. I don't know what came over me. So yeah, kneading bread. Still needs to go a little bit longer. It says it needs to pass the window pane test. Now I don't know the conversion rate for grape juice and water, but I still think this dough is a little bit dehydrated. So I might add water just a little bit to help this dough along, because it's really trying, but I don't think it's gonna make it. I don't know what came over me. I said I wouldn't do stuff like that anymore. It's just a little bit longer. Because it's not passing the window pane test. One thing I forgot to tell you guys about the window pane test last time is that you're supposed to try to stretch it thin enough so that the light will pass through it. And I didn't. Which, you know, is probably why my pizza came out not very easy to roll. But we're gonna do a little bit better. Or I make it lazy and decide not to. It's my channel. I'll do what I want. I'm memorizing them, so I can stare in it for hours. But I only get a few minutes. So, I'm gonna say that's done. Which means now I get to cover it and let it sit for 90 minutes. See y'all then. So it's been about 90 minutes, and my dough has risen quite a lot. So we get to form this into about 8 bagels. So I'm pretty much going to try to make this a uniform shape and then just cut it 8 ways. We'll see how that goes. You're not allowed to boil yet. So after we form these into bagels, we get to boil them for about 1 to 2 minutes. Excuse me. We get to boil them for 2 to 4 minutes. Maybe if I could read, I wouldn't be in this situation. Yeah. I will say, this is a very tough dough. I have not struggled this much to cut dough with a freaking butter knife. Maybe I should have gotten something that was actually sharp. Meh, that's for next time. That's for future me. I'm busy making problems for current me. So next we're going to take this bagel and we're going to try to form it. We're going to take the dough and try to form it into a bagel. I'm going to try not to screw it up. Recipe says that it needs to have the hole in the middle, and it needs to be about 2.5 inches thick. Dude, these are going to be some ugly freaking bagels. I do not have the patience to be a pastry chef. I know some people that do, and I applaud them. I do not. These are going to be some ugly freaking bagels. So anyway, I'll probably speed up the footage. It's times like these you realize just how much of your life has been leading up to this. When you're making bagels that are comprised out of grape juice is the secret ingredient. I hope these taste good. If they don't, I'm going to be disappointed because I still got to get rid of 8 of them, and I really don't like throwing away food, as you can see. These can be some ugly bagels. Bagels that only a mother could love. I ain't no mama. And again, I'm certain that a skilled chef could make this dough so that it doesn't look like Sloth from the Goonies. But I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that kind of chef. These bagels are going to look ugly. And they're going to like looking ugly. Or else. I can feel my Jewish ancestors watching me do this and rolling in their graves, weeping at what I've done to these bagels, weeping at what they look like and what I've put in them. But they ain't here right now, so they ain't gonna stop me. They ain't gonna stop this crime against humanity. Unless these turn out tasting great, in which case maybe they won't be a crime. So, the next thing, we get to drop these for 2 to 4 minutes into boiling water. I've got 2 quarts of boiling water, and the recipe says to put 1/4 cup of honey in it, which is what I did. And yeah, we just kind of get, here we go, yeah, it says cook them 1 minute each side, so in 1 minute I'll flip them. I don't know what person thought it was a good idea to boil bread, but hey, I made bagels, so I mean, maybe they were onto something. I hope that's what it was. So yeah. Hey, time to flip them. I don't know if it's the sweetness from the honey, but I'm hoping it's the sweetness from the grape juice that I'm smelling, because when I was right over top of it, it smelled pretty freaking sweet and slightly grapey, and I'm hoping that that's the grape juice, but it's bagels. Oh my goodness, only a mother could love you. One of these looks like freaking sloth, and it's probably the one that I'm gonna end up cutting open and eating for you guys. Maybe if I cared more, I would have done more, but it's already an affront to God. I might as well just make it worse. Hey, time to pull. So the recipe states to put these in a baking sheet. However, I don't own a baking sheet. I own like 3 cast iron pans and no baking sheets. So I'm just going to use cast iron pans. And yeah. I mean, this recipe couldn't possibly get any more screwed up, so I might as well, right? Right? Gosh, just please let me be right. So, another minute on each side for the second round of bagels, and then they're both going in the oven at 425 for 20 to 25 minutes. I found that anytime I try to bake something on top of cast iron pans, it normally takes about an extra minute or two for them to heat up, so I'll probably err more on the 25-minute side. It says go until they're golden brown, but I don't think these are going to be golden brown. Ooh, that's the other thing, egg wash. These bagels get an egg wash because the recipe says to. No other reason. That's the only reason the recipe says to. These bagels look like I could never sell them. And if I attempted to, I would get multiple health violation codes. Like, I could never, in a million years, attempt to sell these freaking bagels because they I'm being 100% serious when I say they look like the afterbirth of sloth. A tablespoon of water. Oh, you poor baby. How did you get 2 holes? One of these bagels has like 2 holes in it. And I know for a fact that that's entirely my fault. But, like, grab my favorite whisking tool, a fork. I tell you, you have not whisked until you've whisked an egg with a fork. That's mixed, right? That's thoroughly mixed. Now, it also says to use a brush, which I also don't have, so I'm going to attempt to spoon this over to the top of them and hope that it makes something that's not awful. Oh, these bagels are going to come out freaking awful. Egg. I'll probably fast forward through this. To my ancestors that are watching me do this, I'm sorry, but at the same time, I'm not sorry. Yeah. Should have stopped me. There, that looks awful. And then they're both going into the oven. 25 minutes. And I will see y'all then. Alright, so it's been about 20 minutes, and from looking at these, I don't think I can let them go much longer without them trying to burn on me. So, we're gonna try try them out. So, first off, I don't think my egg wash was thin enough. I think that I made an impromptu eggs in a basket by accident, because some of these things are just stuffed with freaking egg white. So we're gonna pull one of these out. We're gonna try to cut it. Ooh, and not burn ourselves. This is an abomination. I'm certain that literally anybody else could have been able to do a better bagel than this, but I ain't nobody else. So let's try a little bit with no cream cheese, and then we'll go back in for some cream cheese. Can't even taste the grape juice. Honestly, incredibly disappointing. I could have just made this with water. Like, if you handed me this and it looked better, and you said this is a regular bagel, I wouldn't have been skeptical at all. Like, it just tastes like a regular bagel. We'll try it with just a little bit of cream cheese on there. It tastes like a regular bagel. Kind of disappointed, kind of thankful. I don't know what. Anytime that we try to add some kind of liquid, it always brings out the worst part of the liquid we added. So I'm kind of thankful that we didn't have the worst part of the grape juice. So yeah, that's grape juice bagels. I will see y'all next time. Stay yeasty.